Do animals know humans are trying to save them? A lone elephant stands behind a barrier of steel cables. The fence is not particularly impressive. A few posts, wires, nothing that should stop an animal capable of uprooting trees. Rainwater gathers in shallow footprints around her feet. Beyond the fence, several humans watch in silence. No one moves. No one speaks. For a few seconds, the elephant stares directly at them, and then something strange happens. She turns away, not in fear, not in aggression, not even in curiosity, just a quiet acknowledgement, as if a calculation has been completed, as if she has already decided what these creatures are and what they are not. Most people believe that if humans save an animal, the animal must somehow understand what happened, that gratitude is obvious, that rescue creates recognition, that survival creates appreciation. But that assumption hides a deeper question, one that becomes increasingly unsettling the longer we examine it.
Because before we can ask whether animals know we are trying to save them, we have to ask something much stranger. Do animals even understand what humans are? Every wild creature lives inside a universe of consequences. A deer does not see a forest the way humans do. A hawk does not see a meadow the way humans do. An octopus does not experience the ocean as a place. For them, reality is a continuous stream of threats, opportunities, movements, smells, sounds, and probabilities. Life is not interpreted through stories. It is interpreted through survival. And within that survival system, humans occupy a peculiar position. We are predators, builders, destroyers, providers, competitors, protectors, and occasionally something that appears almost godlike. The problem is that evolution never prepared animals for a species like ours. Nothing in nature resembles humanity, and that means animals must constantly solve a puzzle that has never existed before. Us. Imagine a wounded wolf. Its leg is caught in a trap. Pain dominates every decision. The body floods with stress hormones. Heart rate rises. Attention narrows. Every moving object becomes a potential threat. Then humans arrive. The trap is removed. Medicine is administered. The wolf survives. From our perspective, the story seems obvious. We helped. But inside the wolf's mind, something entirely different may have occurred. Researchers studying animal cognition have repeatedly encountered a difficult limitation. Animals experience outcomes, but outcomes do not necessarily reveal intentions. The wolf knows pain stopped. The wolf knows humans were present. The wolf may even remember the sequence.
But whether the wolf understands the invisible concept behind the action, the intention to help, is another question entirely. And that distinction changes everything. Because intention is one of the most sophisticated ideas ever produced by a brain. Humans often take it for granted. Animals may not. A child eventually learns that other people possess minds, not merely bodies. Not merely movements, minds. Invisible worlds of desires, beliefs, goals, and motivations. Psychologists call this capacity theory of mind. It is one of the foundations of human civilization. Without it, cooperation becomes almost impossible. Empathy becomes impossible. Morality becomes difficult. History becomes meaningless. The future becomes unimaginable. For decades, scientists believed humans alone possessed this ability in its advanced form. Then, evidence began appearing in unexpected places. Chimpanzees, dolphins, corvids, elephants, even some species of fish. The boundaries started moving. Researchers noticed animals predicting behavior, deceiving competitors, understanding attention, and responding differently depending on what another creature could or could not perceive. Something complex was happening, something evolutionarily expensive, something that looked suspiciously like the beginnings of mind reading. But beginnings are not conclusions. Recognizing that another creature has intentions is not the same as understanding what those intentions mean, and there the mystery deepens.
In the waters off New Zealand, a remarkable event occurred. A group of researchers found themselves observing a pod of dolphins behaving unusually. The dolphins repeatedly altered their movements, changed direction, returned, a approached, retreated. At first, the behavior appeared random. Then, the pattern became clear. The dolphins were guiding humans. Eventually, the destination revealed itself, a whale and her calf. The dolphins seemed to be directing attention toward animals in distress. Scientists still debate exactly what the dolphins understood, but the event exposed a possibility that feels almost uncomfortable. Perhaps some animals occasionally recognize that humans can act as allies, not consistently, not universally, but situationally. A relationship not based on species, not based on instinct, but based on behavior, and behavior leaves traces. The common belief is that animals judge humans individually.
That is rarely true. Most animals judge patterns. Evolution rewards pattern recognition, not biography. A crow does not need to understand your personality. It only needs to predict your actions. And crows are astonishingly good at this. In one famous series of experiments, researchers wore specific masks while capturing and releasing wild crows. Years later, the birds still reacted aggressively to those same faces. Even younger crows that had never experienced the original event learned the association. Knowledge spread socially. Warnings spread culturally. A human face became part of crow history. Consider the implications. An animal may not know your name. It may not understand your profession. It may not comprehend conservation. Yet it may still carry a detailed prediction model about what humans tend to do. And sometimes that prediction model becomes surprisingly accurate. This creates a paradox at the heart of wildlife conservation. Many animals are being saved by the same species that placed them in danger. A sea turtle rescued from plastic waste is being rescued from a problem humans created. An orangutan rehabilitated after habitat destruction is recovering from a crisis tied directly to human activity. A rhino protected by armed rangers requires protection largely because humans exist. To us, these are separate categories: destroyers and rescuers, villains and guardians. But animals may not divide reality that way. From their perspective, all of these actions emerge from the same mysterious source: humanity.
A force capable of opposite outcomes. A species that behaves less like an animal and more like weather. Sometimes nourishing, sometimes catastrophic. Always difficult to predict. There is another reason this question remains elusive. Many animals do not understand rescue the way humans do, because rescue itself is a profoundly human concept. To rescue something requires imagining an alternative future, a future in which suffering can be prevented, a future worth investing resources to create. That kind of thinking depends heavily on abstraction. Humans spend enormous portions of their lives acting on realities that do not yet exist. Governments, laws, money, climate models, conservation programs, future generations. Entire civilizations are built upon imagined futures. Most animals live much closer to the present, not because they are less intelligent, because their survival systems evolved for different purposes. And that means when humans save an animal, the animal may experience the outcome without fully grasping the larger narrative surrounding it. The story exists, but perhaps only on one side.
Yet there are moments that refuse to fit neatly into scientific caution, moments that linger, stories researchers struggle to categorize. Elephants returning to locations where specific humans once helped them, whales approaching boats without obvious necessity, dogs risking themselves for human companions, gorillas protecting lost children, wild animals displaying behavior that seems almost impossible to separate from recognition. Scientists are careful here. They must be. Anthropomorphism has misled generations of observers. Humans are experts at projecting themselves onto nature. We see faces in clouds, intentions in randomness, meaning in coincidence. But
caution creates another danger. Sometimes it blinds us to genuine complexity, and the research increasingly suggests that many animals possess richer emotional and cognitive worlds than previous generations imagined, perhaps far richer.
The deeper we investigate animal minds, the stranger they become. An octopus can solve problems using a nervous system radically different from ours. A raven can plan for future needs. Elephants appear to recognize death. Whales maintain cultural traditions across generations. Bees communicate through symbolic movement. Nature did not produce one intelligence. It produced many, different architectures, different perceptions, different realities. The unsettling possibility is that animals may understand humans in ways humans do not understand themselves, not through language, not through philosophy, but through patterns accumulated over millions of interactions. The way prey understands predators, the way ecosystems understand disturbances, the way life recognizes recurring forces. And humanity has become one of the largest recurring forces on Earth. Perhaps this is why certain encounters feel so difficult to forget. A rescued seal staring at the people who released it. A wolf pausing before disappearing into a forest. An elephant standing motionless beside a ranger. The silence becomes uncomfortable because humans instinctively search for acknowledgement, a sign, a message, a confirmation that the effort was understood. But nature rarely offers confirmation. Nature offers ambiguity, and ambiguity may be closer to truth.
So, do animals know humans are trying to save them? Some probably do, at least in fragments, in moments, in patterns, in ways their own minds can represent. Others almost certainly do not. They experience the consequence without understanding the intention, the outcome without the story, the survival without the explanation. Yet that answer may miss the most important revelation, because the question assumes that understanding is necessary, that recognition is required, that gratitude matters. Perhaps it does not. Perhaps the deeper significance lies elsewhere, because when a human kneels beside an injured animal, there is often no audience, no reward, no certainty, no guarantee the animal will remember, no guarantee it will understand, no guarantee it will ever see another human again. And still, the effort is made, which means the rescue was never only about the animal. It was also about us, about a species capable of harming the world on a planetary scale, yet somehow capable of looking into the eyes of another creature and deciding that its future matters. Whether that creature understands or not, whether it remembers or not, whether it ever knows who helped it survive. And perhaps that is the final irony.
For thousands of years, humanity has searched nature for evidence of intelligence, signs of awareness, proof that other minds exist. But every rescue reveals something in the opposite direction. Not what animals know about us, but what we hope is true about ourselves. That somewhere beneath all our technologies, our wars, our ambitions, and our endless reshaping of the planet, there remains an ancient impulse to preserve life that does not belong to us, to protect something that may never thank us, to save something that may never understand why. And in the vast silence between species, where neither side can fully explain itself to the other, that act remains suspended, untranslated, unconfirmed, a message sent across a gulf millions of years wide, still waiting for an answer.